there's reports out there that Neil Walker potentially could come back to the Pirates. You know, that's probably the big story today. The Pirates seem to have some interest, according to some reports and some sources out there. Do you think that this is a fit for the two to reunite?
Well, I mean, I was in favor of the Pirates keeping Neil Walker. The Pirates were not interested in paying him what he was going to make with the Mets. I don't know why they'd be interested in paying him now, but does he fit into what they're trying to do? Yeah, he would be a good addition, but I don't see it.
You know, I always look at the ulterior motive almost. I kind of believe, you know, and maybe it's because I've been fooled so many times by the Pirates, that they're doing this because they plan to get rid of Andrew McCutchen and they need a fan favorite, someone to draw.
I hadn't thought that deep into it, but it's possible. I think, you know, any attempt to move McCutchen before the season will be financially disastrous to the Pirates, no matter who else is around. But I mean, they could use Walker from a PR standpoint, and he's still a pretty decent player. He's not a great player; he's a pretty good player. But I just don't think they'll pay him. I just don't see that happening. If they were going to pay him, he wouldn't have left.
I mean, what was the rumor coming out of New York?
Traded, but still,
yeah, you're right. But the rumor coming out of New York that he wants a 2-year deal for like $20 million. So, I mean, I think that's above what the Pirates want to pay for a second baseman right now, you would think.
Yeah, I mean.
And how much more I know he'll be a fan favorite. It may be a draw, but how much more productive is he going to be than Frazier?
Yeah, I don't know the sources of this story either, and I have no, no one's mentioned that to me.
All right, let's go out to. We're going to go out to Nick in Alberta. How you doing, Nick?
Yes. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, getting back to Neil Walker. You know, they should never left him to go to begin with. He was a fan favorite. It was a salary dump. Now he has a chance to come back to Pittsburgh. And the only reason why he's coming back to Pittsburgh, he's going to be solid for that infield, and he's going to be good for everyone. And they have Frazier in the background, and I think everything could be good. Thank you very much.
You know what, Nick? You know, Gene, first of all, he's injury prone. How many games is he going to play? I like the fact that he's coming back, but I don't know, like you said, for what price?
He's not coming back. Who said he's coming back?
Well, yeah, okay.
All right, let's not
get a hold of ourselves.
Up the road from there.
Yeah, and I maybe misspoke there. He's not. We don't know if he's coming back. We have no idea. There's interest on both sides, according to reports and sources out there. But I know a lot of fans want to get into these hot stove topics and rumors, and it's fun to talk about. But I think he could fit in for 1 or 2 years, but I don't think at the price that he commands.
Right.
So, all right, let's move on, and we're going to go out to Dave in Cranberry. Dave, how you doing?
Okay, guys, how you doing?
Good, thanks for calling.
Gene, I just wanted to mention to you, I thought your article on Sunday was terrific.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
And your associate there, Mr. Fittipaldo, also discussed the part of injuries in the game.
Right.
But what I wanted to get a comment on both of you is that I was talking to a retired football coach on Sunday, and he tells me that less and less guys are coming out for football, and he blames it on the injury, especially the concussion situation. What do you think?
Well, yeah, thanks for your call and for your compliments. We did talk at length, Ray Fittipaldo and I, in separate stories on Sunday about the number of players that are out for the season in the NFL, the number of quarterbacks that the Steelers have avoided, the impact on a number of different areas, ratings and such. And one of the things I can't remember whether either of us looked into, although I did come across into some of my research, is that numbers for high school football are down, but it's very hard to gauge how significant the decrease is. It might work out to 4 or 5 players on a team nationwide. I suppose that's significant, but it's just hard to gauge because of the way the statistics play out. But there's no doubt that the advent of CTE and what is known about it, has scared off some people. There's just no denying it.
All right, thanks a lot for your call, Dave. Let's go out to Twitter,
Thank
Jason.
You, fellas.
Yeah, appreciate it. Let's go out to Twitter here. We have a pro Pitt basketball tweet, so I want to read it. Thanks for talking Pitt. He commended us for that. And he said he can't call because kids are sleeping. This is Jason 48914.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
But, it went downhill, and I agree with it, when they lost a true point guard that could take big shots or create something. If somehow they could keep Adams for one more year, which wasn't going to happen, and Dixon left the cabinet bare. I understand people can put some of the blame on Jamie Dixon here, but I think it's a very small percentage. I mean, there just wasn't any excitement when the moment they announced Kevin Stallings as the head basketball coach, and you could maybe blame. I think these are Pitt apologists that are looking for something to blame other than the current staff and the current state of the program.
If you want to find somebody to blame, and I'm not suggesting that you should, find the people who made it unpopular to have Jamie Dixon around. That made no sense.
Yeah.
Still doesn't to this day.
I mean, the guy
Who would
won.
you rather have today, for example?
I bet you if you polled 100 out of 100 people, 100 would say Jamie Dixon, unless it was someone related to Kevin Stallings or something. All right, let's back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to David in Finleyville. How you doing, David?
Good. How about yourself, Rich? Thanks for taking my call. I want yours and Gene's opinion on who's your MVP right now at this moment. Thank you.
I think it has to be Wentz, don't you think? I don't know. I mean, he's Steelers MVP or NFL MVP? I thought he
said
NFL MVP. Wentz, Brady.
Wentz,
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, AB might be in the conversation.
Brady. I don't know. I don't get a vote. And who gets another trophy for the trophy case is not much interest to me.
Who does get a vote around here? Is that?
I don't know how that works, frankly.
Okay. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Bob in the Slopes. How you doing, Bob?
Hi, good evening, gentlemen.
Thanks for calling.
I want to talk. There's a caller the other night that said he looked up online for Pitt Miami tickets, and all that was listed was the 500 level. Now, my family, we went to homecoming, and that's all they would sell us. Yeah, but we went to homecoming, and all they would sell us was the 500 level. And I don't understand what their particular policy is, but it doesn't seem to be very good.
Yeah,
And also, I have a question about the WPIAL on the playoffs.
Yeah.
Since there are 6 classifications, the top 4 are scheduled to play at Pitt or at the Heinz Field. Do you know, are they going to rotate the classifications there, or is this going to be the top 4?
No, it's only going to be the 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're not going to rotate it. Because one of the other reasons they can't align them the right weekends, right? The semifinals and the finals, and they're different weekends. So the 6 classifications is stupid. I think they need to go back to 4 classifications. And I don't know your thoughts on that, Gene, but I heard there were rumors that some of the athletic directors in the WPIAL might talk about going back to 4 classifications just in the WPIAL. And then when it gets out to the PIAA, then you would go into your designated classification. Now, I know there were preliminary talks on that. I don't know if that's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but that's something that I heard last year, that it could happen 2-3 years down the road. So, I can't speak on the ticket policy. I don't know the last time I bought a Pitt ticket, but obviously there's not a lot of fans going, and I don't see how you couldn't get a 100-level ticket because it's all yellow seats.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that.
Yeah, I know if you had season tickets, you could buy a ticket for $1 or something to try to fill up. Maybe they were just trying to do that. A funny tweet, though, Gene and I were cracking up. Crockett, I just have to mention this, Iron City Brave tweeted us right when the show started. He said, maybe they should tarp the balcony at the Pete.
Close the balcony.
Yeah, all right. We got to take a break. Back with some more calls and some tweets coming up next. Stay right there.